5:06 on Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Good morning to you, friends. Hope you are doing well, and welcome on in to a Tuesday, August 19th. Man, what an incredible day yesterday with President Trump, all those European leaders, of course, Vladimir Zelensky as well. And there was a lot going on. There is a lot going on. Bottom line is this, and there's a headline in the Daily Mail. Let me just tell you the very latest. There's a headline in the Daily Mail, and basically what the headline is, and this is at 1:02 this morning, so about midnight. Headline is, Moscow, Vladimir Putin refuses to commit to Putin-Zelensky peace talks, saying the 40-minute call with Donald Trump was only fairly constructive as Finland's prime minister questions if untrustworthy Kremlin leader has the courage needed to act following U.S.-led bid to end the Ukraine war. In other words, it's the same conversation we've been having for years on Vladimir Putin. And that is, does he really want peace? That is one of the big questions. And so that is where we will start today. Now, one of the things that I loved about what happened yesterday was the press conference where you had, and this was an incredible moment for not only Vladimir Zelensky, but also Donald Trump, because it was very clear that the president and Zelensky, they really did seem to be on the same page. And, you know, the more that you look at how everything was going on, the more you realize, you know what? For President Trump and Vladimir Zelensky, and I've got some video here, they did seem to be getting along very well. That being said, Peter Doocy asked a whale of a question. Listen to this.
President Zelensky, are you prepared to keep sending Ukrainian troops to their deaths for another couple years, or are you going to agree to redraw the maps?
Did you hear that question? Are you prepared to continue to send Ukrainian troops to their deaths for the next couple of years? You did. You heard that right. And that's a question that everybody wants to know. And so here's, again, the question and the answer.
President Zelensky, are you prepared to keep sending Ukrainian troops to their deaths for another couple years, or are you going to agree to redraw the maps?
Thank you for your question. So, first of all, we live under each day attacks. That today have been a lot of attacks and a lot of wounded people, and the child was dead, small one year and a half. So we need to stop this war, to stop Russia, and we need support American and European partners. And we will do our best for this. So, and I think we show that we are strong people, and we supported the idea of the United States, personally of President Trump, to stop this war, to make diplomatic way of finishing this war, and we are ready for...
So there you go. That is Vladimir Zelensky, and I had a hard time, and you probably did too, understanding what exactly he said. But basically, he says that Ukraine, by the way, he said, thanks for the question, which is anybody who knows anything about tough questions when you're up on a stage, thanks for the question is your mind resetting. And again, it's like an oh crap moment. Oh crap, how am I going to answer this question? Because this is a tough one for Zelensky to answer. Because you've had hundreds of thousands of people that have died, Ukrainian troops that have died with no end in sight, as he is refusing, as you know, really to give any sense that he's willing to negotiate on land. But he said Ukraine is always under attack. They've had a lot of injuries and deaths, and he wants to stop this war. Now, the question is, what is he willing to sacrifice? Now, I don't know if you saw this, but he walks into, I don't know if they were in the Oval Office or where exactly they were, but he walks in, and Donald Trump has a big map of Ukraine. And 20% of those eastern regions and 20% of the country of Ukraine is under Russian control on that map. So he walks in, and the pressure is on. And the pressure is, you got to give up 20% of your country. Otherwise, this war is going to continue. So he is in a tough spot. I mean, listen, giving up land is difficult for any leader, but it has happened before. You know, you look some of this stuff up, you do a little research, and all of these instances are different and unique. But Finland versus the Soviet Union, 1939, 1940. Finland, invaded by the Soviets, they had to cede about 11% of their land. They say it was a pragmatic move because they had to avoid full occupation. Well, look at the situation now. With Ukraine, you've got hundreds of thousands, if not more, dying because of this battle. And then when you throw in, that's just the troops, then you throw in the civilians, and, you know, it's probably over 1 million. And so the question is, do you give up that 20% to save any more lives being lost? That's number one. Of course, Germany lost territory after they were beaten by the Allies in 1919. That was post-World War I. Israel gave up land after the Yom Kippur War in 1973, basically giving some of that back to Egypt. Again, all of these situations are unique, but what's not unique is giving up land to save lives. Again, there is a certain pragmatism here that needs to be understood because all these European countries, and certainly America, they don't want this war to continue on forever. You know, a forever war. And so now, ultimately, the narrative will be that Russia has come in and they've basically stolen the land from Ukraine. But again, to me, you have to look at the pragmatics. So you got three options. And I don't know, Joan, maybe you know of a fourth, but three options, at least to me.
Okay.
Come to an agreement and cede the land. Give up 20% of your country. That's number one. That's option A. Option B, continue fighting with no end in sight. And then ultimately, who's going to foot that bill and how many people are going to die, et cetera. Or C, Ukraine, NATO, and Europe and the United States end this war in what would no doubt be another World War III, right? And so it seems to me like B and C are not options. We don't want a world war, and we don't want to continue the fighting with no end in sight, which leaves us A. I mean, am I missing any other option here?
You're talking about Ukraine giving up the territory that...
the 20%.
And does that include Crimea?
You know, that's a great question. I don't know. I think it does. Mm-hmm. I think it does. So, I don't know. It does seem to me like Zelensky doesn't have a choice. Yeah. And if that means that the president is pressuring Ukraine, well, you know, it's interesting. People who are against Donald Trump will say, oh, well, President Trump is bullying Zelensky. Actually, what President Trump is doing is trying to point him in the right direction. Yeah. Towards, to me, the right decision. So I don't know. It does seem to me like this is something that the president and these European allies really do need to do. And the other thing that I thought was interesting, and I don't know how much of this you watched yesterday.
Oh, I watched all of it. I was glued.
So wasn't it fascinating, Joan, how, and I don't have audio for this. I wish that I did, but where you had all of the European leaders in that room where they were all praising Donald Trump for getting everyone together.
Yes.
I mean, that was clearly, you know, one of those moments where they were like, President Trump, thank you. You're the only one that could have, you know, gotten us here, so on and so forth. And so
I like the way also that he went around the table and had everyone do a little bit like, how do you see this?
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about what you're thinking. You know, it availed the press to thinking other than just Donald Trump and just Zelensky and just Putin. Yep. It allowed them to hear the world leaders talking about, how the president, brought everyone together, to your point.
Yep.
And also, it allows them to realize that Donald Trump's not the only one that sees this as being a huge problem that just needs to get settled,
right?
Despite what the press may think about how he's doing it.
You're right, because they're trying to make it look like, again, not to belabor the point, but they're trying to make it look like, oh, Donald Trump is trying to, bully Zelensky. The reality is that Trump is getting everybody together so that they can try to find a solution. And believe it or not, you know who seems to be on board with Donald Trump?
Who's that?
Video. One, Joe Scarborough.
By the way, let's underline two things here. Just again, to set expectations, to be realistic. Even during the Biden administration, every Biden official, including the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, said they're going to have to give up land. They're not going to like giving up land, but they're going to have to give up land, number one. Number two, they're not going to become members of NATO. There may have been people writing articles in the Wall Street Journal or elsewhere saying they have to be members of NATO, but you go around to every European leader, that was never going to happen. But there was an idea of a quasi-NATO type guarantee, and they need that guarantee. And if they get that guarantee, if they have the guarantee that Putin's not going to reload and then come back in, that would be considered, I think, at the end, a win for Ukraine, would it not?
Yeah, I mean, that's the point. So even Joe Scarborough understands that they're going to have to give up land. The question is, does Vladimir Zelensky understand that he's got to give up land? It is 5:16. Time to check the roads on WTN.
Well, look, you still have that road work this morning on 40, the eastbound side between 24 and 213A. And Briley Parkway, exit 215. And the left lane is blocked off by that work this morning. No delays to speak of on 2465 is looking good so far as well. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Thank you, Joan. As far as your weather for today, sunny and hot. Heat advisory still in place until tonight due to a high of 98 degrees, feeling like 105, humidity at 40%. Joan, it's going to be a bad hair day.
It's going to be the worst hair day.
It is absolutely going to be the worst hair day.
The silver lining is that tomorrow it starts getting better.
Yes, and I cannot wait.
Yeah.
You know what I need from you, Joan?
What do you need from me, Dan?
Can you do this at 5:35?
What's that?
I need you to get me a forecast for Las Vegas.
Oh.
Can you do that for me?
Okay. Oh, is this Las Vegas weekend?
Mm-hmm. It is a Las Vegas weekend.
All right, I got you.
So we'll talk about that here in a little bit. During the press conference yesterday. By the way, can I ask you a question, Joan?
Yeah.
What was Zelensky wearing? That was almost like that was a let me move this over. We got video for all the sound bites today, folks. I'm like now 100% doing audio and video. So if you're watching on YouTube, I can't exactly tell what Zelensky is wearing. It's almost like he didn't want to go with a full-blown suit and a tie. It's really dark, and so it's kind of a suit, but it's a casual suit.
It's longer. It's
Yes.
like a dinner coat length. But it's very, he just can't comply. He can't comply with
There's
the suit and
always
tie.
got to do. The Daily Mail had framed it as a total power move by Zelensky. That's how they
BS.
framed it.
I would bet your sweet bippy that the White House had that prepared for him to put on to say, buddy, you're not coming in this place without something, a jacket on. And here's what you're going to wear.
Yep.
And if I were the White House, I would have made it, an XXL and made him roll up the sleeves.
That's what I said. Remember yesterday I said it's got to be like a like when you walk into a restaurant and it's a tie and jacket place only.
Yes.
And
They give you the suit jacket.
and they give you the suit jacket. He was actually asked, if I may, real quick. He was actually there was a comment made about his suit, and this is how that went.
President Zelensky, you look fabulous in that suit.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, you look good.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, looks good on
I
you.
said to one that
I didn't feel sorry for him, but they're treating him like a kid.
Yes.
Did you feel that way too, Joan?
Yeah.
Where they treated him like a kid, where everybody knows this really bad thing happened, and now he is kind of, sort of, but not really complied. But they're trying the positive affirmations.
Yeah, like they just patted him on the head.
Yes,
Yeah.
like that's exactly right. Like they're patting him on the head. So here's the rest of that.
President Zelensky, you look fabulous in that suit.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, you look good.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, looks good on
I
you.
said the one that attacked you last time. See, now I remember that.
Yeah, I apologize to you. You look wonderful. No, my first question for you, President Zelensky.
In the same suit.
And he I think what he was saying is that the reporter in question was actually wearing the same suit that he was last time.
Yeah. Oh, I see. He's still wearing the same suit that he wore last time. I get it.
I think that's what he said.
Okay.
In fairness, I only have one suit.
Is that it? I think a lot of people have the suit that they would wear if, an elderly family member passed away.
Funeral suit?
Yeah. Or, if somebody gets married, you can, put a different shirt and tie on.
It's the same thing. It is 5:22. You know what I'm saying, Joe? Funeral and marriage.
Oh, Dan. That's bad.
Louis, back me up on this.
Don't do it, Louis. Don't be lured into this.
Come on. Same thing.
Silliness.
Marriage and a funeral. It's the same thing.
Louis, you're a married man. Watch your words.
All right, very
Attaboy.
good.
Attaboy.
Let's go. I'm going to go ahead and bail Louis out with the sound. I'm just kidding. I'm a happily married man. I love my wife. Of course, people like multiple divorces and stuff. I hope never to be that person. But, they might say the same thing.
Yeah.
In reference, though, you do have to die in your marriage. If you ever heard that saying.
No, what?
You have to die in your marriage.
You have to die in your marriage?
You have to die to yourself, right?
Yeah, you got to die to yourself. Yeah.
It's like having.
I've never heard that.
You die to yourself when you commit to faith in Christ, and you do the same thing with your wife. You stop caring about yourself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And care about your mate.
Okay.
Kill the old you.
Okay. Very good.
You don't believe in this at all, Dan.
Absolutely. No,
Yeah.
I get the point.
Yeah.
I get the point. And I agree with the point.
Uh-huh.
Joe,
Way to
what's
go,
coming up
Louie.
in the news?
All right. Well,
Moving right along.
here's the headlines, folks. A man is dead after an attempted break-in at a Christiana home. Also, what political analysts are saying about the Texas redistricting fight and where that is this morning. We've got those
Did
stories.
you hear the big news about Gavin Newsom?
I think you could probably follow up the story with that, Dan.
Okay,
Yeah.
5:35, we'll talk about Gavin Newsom.
Deal.
And Dana Perino wants to know, Gavin Newsom, where is your wife?
Oh.
We'll talk about that and a whole lot more.
Interesting.
Straight ahead on Nashville's Morning News. By the way, Super Text line is open, 615-737-9986, and we'll return next. 528, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7. Don't mean to go dark on this Tuesday, but man, this horrific story of Mohammed, this dude, this Somalian that raped a woman, she later died.
Yeah.
Horrifying story. Now, what they don't know is, and if you don't know the story, this dude, Somalian named Mohammed,
Homeless man.
raped a woman. She later died. He's been charged with, 4 counts? Is it, I think, 4 counts of rape?
Something like that.
Sexual assault. Yeah. He's Somalian. So just so you folks know that I know, in Somalia, where this dude is from, and we don't know his immigration status, but they have a horrifying, even according to the United Nations, a rape culture in Somalia that is just, it's awful. A rape culture. That is what happens in Somalia. That is what we, one way or another, have allowed into this country.
We've invited it.
We invited it.
We being Joe Biden.
Joe Biden, and you know what? I'm going to call out the Afton Baines of the world and the Heidi Campbells, all of the local Democrats. And again, I don't know this dude's immigration status. Maybe he's here legally. I have no idea.
A lot of people on the super text line, I know how to find that information out.
Okay. So,
perhaps they can help us with that.
I've grokked it. I've tried to figure out. Tennessee Star was where I got this story. Can't seem to figure out what his immigration status is. But when we know, you'll know. But it is a horrible story from, obviously, at least to me, when you allow the monsters into your home, into your country, then you've got to call out the people that invited this into our city and our country. That would be the Democrats. 5:30 on WTN. 5:37, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Good morning to your friends. Dan Mandis here, along with Joan Jones. Louie is running the audio console this morning. And just kidding. Joan, I don't know if you can see it, but if you're watching on YouTube, and I'll describe it.
Yeah.
There's a very funny, I don't know if you'd call it a meme, but it's Vladimir Zelensky, a very downtrodden-looking Vladimir Zelensky walking out of a Men's Warehouse with his suit. That's what we're talking about.
That's funny.
Very, very funny indeed.
Yes.
So we do have Gavin Newsom in the news today, and for a number of different reasons. Now, you'll remember, Joan, a while back, we were talking about Gavin Newsom and about how he was really low in the presidential polling. Well, now his presidential polling, believe it or not, friends, has skyrocketed, Gavin Newsom. And part of what they're saying is, and I'm gonna get into the numbers here in a second, but part of what they're saying is that his reaction to the Texas redistricting efforts have actually done well for him. And so I'm going to play one little piece of audio. We did play this yesterday where Newsom, he's clearly triggered by the folks on the right and, the Texas Democrats and clearly Donald Trump. And this is the audio, again, that I played yesterday where he is just really angry.
It is about the United States of America. He doesn't believe in that. He believes in the red states. He's going after. He's a war. He's a wartime president. He's the head of a war party. War on women. War on voting rights. War on Hispanics. A war on this state. War on institutions. War on history. I mean, this is serious. This guy's trying to get a Nobel Peace Prize.
The funny thing is, no, Donald Trump is not trying to get a Nobel Peace Prize. He's trying to end a war in which millions of people are being killed. But you can hear the anger. And it's sort of like, this sanctimonious righteous anger.
Oh, yeah.
That sometimes we hear from folks on the left. And his face is all red,
That's what he's going to try to say tomorrow in Alaska, that he's the big guy trying to find peace, really? When he's bringing war to the American people? He put military in the streets, not of Baghdad. And he didn't send the military in his first administration.
By the way, did you hear, just real quick, did you hear about the illegal alien truck driver? Another one of those stories that we've seen over the last couple of days.
The one down in Florida?
The one, yes, Florida Turnpike.
Yeah.
Made an illegal U-turn in a big rig. He makes an illegal U-turn.
The most disturbing part of that story.
I know what you're going to say. Go ahead.
Is that the camera, what it captured. He looked behind him and saw the car had flown into the back of his trailer. And he's straight face,
no big deal. Like no oh crap face, oh
Nope.
crap reaction, nothing.
3 people died in that car that just slammed into your trailer, buddy.
So we're going to talk about that.
Anywhere in the world. He sent the United States Marines into the United States of America in one of the bluest cities in this country, in Los Angeles, one of the great cities, American cities. That's what Donald Trump did. He is a wartime president.
So came out yesterday that, and I did talk about this yesterday, but his state leads in both crime and homelessness across America. And so for Gavin Newsom, this is a situation where he can act all, righteous, and he can talk about how great California is, but the reality is that your state leads in both crime and homelessness. That's not a good resume bullet point. And so for Newsom, you sit here and you listen to, the really angry words of Gavin Newsom as he's really going after Donald Trump. But, dude, look at your own state. I mean, that's what Donald Trump is trying to fix. And you're not trying to fix it. I mean, you want to focus what he's trying to do. I think part of what Gavin Newsom is trying to do, and then I'll get to the numbers. But I think what Gavin Newsom is trying to do is he's trying to distract from his own failures by focus on Donald Trump and talking about Donald Trump. And so when the Texas Democrats fled, because what the Texas Republicans are wanting to do with redistricting, what they're saying is that that kind of verbiage is actually doing well for Gavin Newsom. Support for California Governor Gavin Newsom as a possible Democratic presidential candidate in 2028 has surged over the past 4 months, a new poll shows. The poll indicates support for the more aggressive position Newsom has taken in standing up to President Donald Trump, particularly over that plan by Republicans in Texas to redraw their state's congressional seat map in the hopes of winning more seats in the midterm elections next year. The battle to become, by the way, to do that, to be able to redraw the lines in California, they actually need a referendum. And it looks like this idea of redrawing the lines in California, extremely unpopular, as a matter of fact. The battle to become the 2028 presidential election candidate will likely set the new direction for the Democratic Party as it struggles with its favorability, where, as one recent poll showed, it is now at a 3-year low. Newsom has not formally announced his candidacy, but it's coming. The new poll, conducted by Echelon Insights, has Newsom in second place among potential Democratic candidates with 13% support, behind former Vice President Kamala Harris with 26%. Who do you think would win in a debate? Kamala Harris or Gavin Newsom?
I think Gavin Newsom.
I think Gavin Newsom would wipe the floor with Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
The question is, would they allow him to do that?
Yeah, I don't think so. He has to be, he has to understand that she's a woman. And she's a woman. She's a BIPOC.
A BIPOC?
Yeah, a black. What is it? Louis, what's a BIPOC?
I'm lost too. What is a
BIPOC? Do I have the right?
What is that?
Louis, we apologize in advance.
Yeah, it's just me. Black, Indigenous, and people of color.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't have picked up on that either.
Yeah.
I was going down the road of like bisexual when I...
No, she's not one of those, as far as we know.
Moving right along. So, so she is still in the lead. She's actually gone up 2 points. You know do you know who has really gone down in favorability is Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah. Is that, why? Why would he's younger than most of the candidates that the left has, in their lineup.
I think maybe partly because with all the problems we've had with transportation in this country.
Maybe, yeah.
People realized that he was focused on the whole DEI thing and not on trying to fix the problems in our country. That's the only thing that I can think of.
He's also not a very strong, he doesn't speak strong. He's not like a strong orator.
He is when he's in a friendly environment.
Okay.
He is like when he was on the Breakfast Club, he was, very strong, but he doesn't have a track record. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Say what you will about Gavin Newsom, he's got a track record. It's not good, but he's got a track record.
Yeah.
But he's got that smile and he's got that hair. And that's what some Republicans are afraid of Newsom because he is such a great speaker. He does flash that gruesome smile. And
gruesome Newsom smile.
Gruesome Newsom smile. Yep. But then there's this, just real quick. Because I still think that the Democrat Party, I don't care if it's Gavin Newsom, because you can obliterate him with the fact that in California, and I'm going to get into this coming up, but in California, do you know how many illegal alien truck drivers have gotten their driver's licenses in California?
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the dude from India, the guy that just killed 3 people in Florida, got his license from Florida. I should say from California. Then he's driving all over the place because they allow this. It's a sanctuary state. So they come in illegally. They get their driver's licenses from California, which allows such things. and then they're allowed to drive all across the country, including in places like Florida, where this guy killed 3 people. So, and I'll get into more of that in greater detail here later on, including I'm going to show the video because the video is horrifying. And Joan, you are exactly right.
Ugh.
Stunning that he had no reaction whatsoever.
None.
Like that almost feels like a mental illness. And I'm not whatever, but I mean, that almost feels like a mental illness. How do you not have more of a reaction when a car smashes into your rig? And just so you folks know, again, I realize we're giving a visual on the radio, but he had no reaction at all.
He just didn't.
No. So if it's Kamala Harris, I think it's going to be either Kamala Harris or Gavin Newsom. It's going to be one of those two for the Democrats. And so I think, you can certainly make a case. Hey, Louis, let's do the poll. We don't even have a poll up yet this morning.
We don't?
So, no, falling down on the job.
Heck.
Louis,
You've been doing them late lately.
Let's do this poll. Let's say, who would you rather have run for the Democrats in 2028? Kamala Harris or Gavin Newsom? That's what I want the poll to be.
And I think the consideration here is that whoever doesn't win that race is kind of let loose on the rest of us.
Yeah,
like they're
you're
going to
right.
be out there going for some office, and they're still going to be bothering everybody.
What do you think? Who would you rather? Let's say it's either going to be J.D. Vance, and I realize we're going political, and I'm sorry, but J.D. Vance or Ron DeSantis or Marco Rubio. Those 3.
Yeah.
Who would you rather have run against one of those 3? Gavin Newsom or Kamala Harris? Isn't that a tough one?
I think so.
Like, who's worse? That's the thing. Who's worse? I think Kamala Harris is worse because Newsom is a better liar.
Yeah.
Newsom's a better liar. She'll word salad.
She'll word salad. He does things, and we know that she doesn't do anything. She was the border czar. She did nothing.
Yep.
She doesn't take action. She talks big words.
Well,
in circles.
I was going to say she speaks big words, but man, they are circular in nature.
Hey, I'm supposed to tell you the Las Vegas weather forecast.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, lucky for you, are you going on Friday?
All right. So just so you folks know, and unfortunately I don't have my Backstreet Boys music queued up.
Oh.
But just have in your head playing, I don't care who you are, what you. So anyway,
Sam, start singing.
I'm going to go to
Backstreet Boys.
I'm going to go to the.
My fire.
Oh, there you go.
Who is that? Is that
Sam?
Is that Sam?
That is Sam.
I say, I want it that way.
Wow. Okay.
What a wasted effort on this radio station.
That's exactly right.
Wow.
One of the Backstreet Boys is losing his voice. I think it's Kevin. So, maybe
Sam could step in.
Sign Sam right up to replace Kevin on the Backstreet Boys, who is losing his voice.
When are you going?
This weekend. I'm flying out Friday night.
Okay. Lucky for you. The temperature is coming down on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
From 110 to 107 on Friday.
Lord. But it is a dry heat, though. It is a dry heat.
Somehow that would not comfort me.
No.
Then it goes to 103 on Saturday, 102 on Sunday. You're there at a really good time.
I'm going to be there. We are flying out on Sunday. We're flying in Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
And then the concert at the Sphere is going to be on Saturday night. And then we're flying home on Sunday.
Okay.
So it is just, it is Riker is with his dad a weekend. And we are heading to the Sphere in Las Vegas, and we're trying to decide what we want to do.
Yeah.
We will not be going to the topless pool again, that I can tell you.
Okay.
So as President Donald Trump battles to end mail-in balloting or voting, Democrats are in a battle to align themselves. Here's the problem the Democrats are facing, is that they are horribly unpopular, and according to Politico, the DNC is now facing money problems as well as the GOP continues to bring in hundreds of millions of dollars. The Democrats, because they're so rudderless, the big-time donors, they're not donating to the party.
Yeah.
Trailing by nearly every fundraising metric, the Democrats are. By the end of June, the RNC had a reported $80 million, and it continues to come in. The DNC has less than 20% of that, with all of $15 million. Politico reports major Democratic donors have withheld money this year as skepticism grows about the party's direction. Meanwhile, a number of Republicans are now doubling down on Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill, tackling the laws, Medicaid cuts head on with new messaging with Democrats, and they are hitting hard. Representative Mike Lawler is one. He has released a series of ads highlighting different aspects of the legislation. So the Democrats have really been trying to go after the Republicans on the Medicaid, the supposed Medicaid cuts, which, I mean, I don't believe there are Medicaid cuts, but you're going to have all the Democrats, and they are going to say that there are. Republicans will say we're getting the illegal aliens off of Medicaid, and we are mandating work requirements for some of these folks, right?
Yep.
No problem with any of that for me or most Republicans. But Democrats, of course, are screaming about it, whatever. But to me, the Republicans do need to play offense on this big, beautiful bill as it relates to Medicaid, because I do believe that it is gaining some traction. So you've got to, if you're the Republicans, you've got to tackle this problem head on. So, we'll have to wait and see what happens. But the Democrats, whether it is Gavin Newsom or Kamala Harris, I mean, neither one has a good track record. So they're going to have a big issue. All right, it is 5:54. By the way, the super text line is open, 615-737-9986. By the way, from the counsel of Chris Hand, I do need to reframe something, though, Joan.
Yeah. What?
I'm going to see the Sphere, and the Backstreet Boys just happen to be there. Amy is going to see the Backstreet Boys at the Sphere.
Gotcha.
Because I've always wanted to see the Sphere.
Yes. So you're not really going.
I just want to make sure everybody knows. All those years, I wanted to go see the Eagles at the at the Sphere.
Be there, yeah.
Never got spousal permission for that one, though.
But you got spousal permission for the Backstreet Boys.
Sure did, boy.
Whew. One of the listeners, 3854, wants you to know that an oven is also dry heat. 273 also says there's no humidity in a blast furnace. So, yeah, it's going to feel like that while you're in Vegas.
Well, Amy and I have just decided we're going to just hang by the pool.
Okay.
Hang by the pool and drink. All right, Joan, what's coming up?